before a game. For some reason, I got over here early, just didn't get on the air quite as early as I should have. But Trimble County did not come out on the field to begin warm-ups until 15 minutes before the game.
They may not have been here, as you well know. That's a long way.
Well, they may not have, but their coaches were, because I saw their coaches hovering around out there, and then but the kids didn't come out until about 15 minutes, maybe because of the heat, and maybe they're stretching and so forth in the locker room as well. I don't know, but just about ready to go. It is a long trip. A nice trip, though. And I'll tell you what, we enjoyed the trip over there last year. People were really nice, and their kids played hard, Bowley. They were a bit overmatched in the game, obviously, but their kids played hard. And I can already see some improvement in this program. About twice the number of kids out as I had last year. About 41 kids on this roster.
Absolutely. It was a great, hospitable place to go, and what a beautiful drive, as you mentioned. And, you know, as we mentioned, Coach Haddix has a tough time getting his team convinced you still got to play hard. Or, you know, well, a couple things happen. When you don't play hard, you risk injury. You know, but on the other hand, if you're Trimble County, you drove down here 3 hours, you know you're playing a team that's in the power rankings better than you, and on paper and all the media guides, you know, have Corbin as a heavy favorite. You know, how do you convince your kids, if you're them, to go out and play hard as well?
Yeah, I don't know what we're waiting on. I see a police car coming in over there with their lights on. They've called Corbin's team back over to the sideline there around Coach Haddix. And the official just standing at midfield looking back towards the gate, Coach. And I know what this is. I take it back. This is an honorary thing for Mark Hinderlight. Mark Hinderlight, former Redhound, has been very ill. And they're going to bring Mark in. He's going to, I think, bring the game ball on a golf cart, if I'm not mistaken. They're bringing Mark in on a golf cart, if I'm not mistaken. And I heard about this today.
Okay. Yeah, our prayers are with Mark.
Yeah, Mark Redhound from a while back, not that long ago. I'm going to say Mark's probably around 42 years old, maybe. A really, really good athlete here at Corbin. If I'm not mistaken, that's what they're doing. I'd heard that today, that they were going to let Mark bring the game ball in, maybe, or be an honorary captain. I'm not sure exactly if that's what this is about, but they're looking back that direction, and the Redhounds are still over on the sideline.
Yeah, I had not heard that, but what a nice gesture. A little cooler this week, Dave. Not as humid.
It is. There's not as much hot air in behind us, that's for sure.
Well, you got them lined out.
But it is cool. And they'll continue to cool off. This is a great time of the year. And what's funny about football season is that you start these games so hot, you just can't stand it. And then by the time you're done, it's so cold you can't stand it, all in 1 year. It looks like they're going to go ahead. I think they're bringing. They got a couple golf carts down there in that end zone, and I'm not sure if they're going to just sit down there and maybe do something at halftime. I'm not sure, but they've got the players back on the field. They're going to get underway here, it looks like. The kicker is number 11. That is also the quarterback, T.J. Payton. I'll take that back. It's going to be number 66, Thornsberry. No, it is Payton. They had two lined up there. The little squib kick will be picked up by and up back at the 40 for Corbin. Over his head, that's Nance, I believe, all the way out near the 50-yard line before he's wrapped up and brought to the turf. It'll be 1st and 10 for Corbin at their own 49-yard line.
Yeah, I wasn't sure with the kick, David, if he wanted to onside it or actually just wanted to squib it, but it was kind of an in-between. It wasn't squibbed real well, and it wasn't real good onside.
I think they were still trying to decide who was going to kick it, because Thornberry was broke down like he was going to approach the football, and then from the left side came Payton. I think they were trying to fool us with who was going to kick it as well, but at any rate,
offensively, we'll check Corbin's line. Looks like the center is Brady Ferris. One guard is Moore. Dalton Eaton is the tackle. Zach Engel and
Taylor back to throw long down the left side. Got Hopper up there, makes the catch at the 10, all the way down to the 5-yard line. Kenny Hopper just streaking down the left sideline, and a perfectly thrown pass from Corey Taylor. And Hopper continues really to be a difference maker on this football team.
He does. Alec Gamble also, that other lineman, David. Now, pardon me. I thought we had time to get the lineups in there, but I didn't.
No worries, Coach. I think we're going to have plenty of time to chat about whatever we want to tonight.
Way to cover me, buddy.
I think we got plenty of time to do what we need to do here. Corbin first down and goal from about the 6-yard line. Taylor's going to work out of the gun. Two wideouts to both sides. Kopic in the slot to the left. I think we're bringing him in motion. They're going to pitch it to him on the jet sweep. He's going to turn it up at the 5-4-3. Lowers his head. Touchdown. Corbin Kopic gets it in. Count score in 2 plays. Shaky Lloyd's back. He lets the cannon go down on that end. We appreciate Shaky being back here. He's going to need plenty of loads tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Corbin made it look easy right there. And again, I don't know what you do in a case like this, because it is a mismatch. I mean, it's a scheduling mismatch.
I'll tell you what we got here, Coach. We got Cannonu, but this is not Tulio. This is his brother. I thought last week, I thought that kid was left-footed. This is his brother, and I forget his first name, but he's a Cannonu as well. Also a soccer player. Skeeter on loan from the soccer team. He bangs the extra point through. Jody Mauser got me straightened out this week. He said, hey, that's not Tulio, man. He said, and he told me the kid's name. I'm sorry, I forget it, but he's wearing Tulio's jersey.
Where's Tulio?
That's the thing. I'm not sure. He told me. And but at any rate, we'll try to get all that straight up for you. It is his brother, and he is right-footed. He bangs the extra point through.
It is Cannonu.
It is Cannonu. It's Tulio's brother. But at any rate, excellent kicker. Knocks that one through for the extra point. We'll just hang on to it right here.
What a good thing Coach Simon does by blending is a good word. You know, they don't. They're not part of the physical drills of that, but they're kickers and they can kick the football. And it's really added to our arsenal. Both kids. I'm just so happy that Coach Skeeter Simon is willing to do that, and my hat's off to him, and good luck to him this soccer season.
They had a big win. They beat Perry County Central this week here in Corbin, and which is Perry's one of the I think one of the good soccer programs in this in southeastern Kentucky. Cannonu's got it teed up at the 40. Try to get his first name to you here momentarily. He approaches, puts the foot to it. High indoor ring kick, rather short, going to be fielded by Haney at the 20-yard line. Starts at the left side, will be hit and wrapped up just over 25 at about the 26, and it'll be where the Raiders will take over first down and 10.
Try to check some of those defensive starters, David. Big Harley Lambert back in there this week. Also at the other end is Andrew Reedy. The corners are O'Neill and Harrison Reedy. The free safety is Sailor Rasmuth. The outside linebackers are William Reedy, and looks like Tucker Jewell getting the start over there. The inside linebackers, Dalton Anderson, one of the players of the week last year, and senior Tanner Powers.
I'll tell you what, Rasmus easily could have been in that conversation as well. Two of the biggest plays in the game when he chased that ball down and touched at the 1-yard line, then a diving interception as well. And about straight up the gut. That's going to be plenty of running room all the way out to about the 35-yard line for rig number 25. That is Wyatt Adkins. Only listed at 5'6", but he's 195.
Yeah, Tucker Jewell coming from the outside into the middle to try to, or not try to make the stop. So a little bit of room in the middle there that time.
Brings up second down and about 4.
Good crowd on hand, David, considering this is what on paper seems to be a mismatch, although they knocked off about an 8-yard run there on first down.
Yeah, it was a nice run that time by Adkins. Back split behind the quarterback, Peyton. Long count. A really long count. Almost too long. Hands it off Adkins again. They're going to try the left side. This time he will be hit and wrestled down for about a loss of a yard on the play, back to about the 35-yard line.
Number 19, Andrew Reedy on the stop for the Redhounds. Andrew, a sophomore. Like I say, he's one end. Also getting the start in there tonight at one of the defensive linemen is Evans' boy, David. I believe his name is Cody, if I'm not mistaken.
And we've got at least one.
Cody Evans, yes.
I'm sorry, because we've got at least one listener out there because somebody just texted me. I think it's Coach Simon. Lucas is Tulio's brother.
Lucas, okay.
Lucas Kennedy. All right. So.
All right. Lucas and Tulio. Well, thanks to Coach Simon.
I'm pretty sure that was Coach. If not, it's maybe somebody playing a trick on us, and they may not be Lucas, but we're going to say it is. Pitch out right side. Wagner again turns it up over the 35 to about the 36. Gain of about a yard is going to bring up fourth down and 3 now for Trimble County. Trimble County coached by Justin Franklin. Chris Yates, Matthew Wolford, Brian Mumphrey, Ron Logan, and Stuart Barnes, the assistant coaches. Looks like they're going to go for it here, Coach, on fourth and about a yard.
Why not? Why not? Got two big offensive tackles, David. I got to tell you that. 71-75. That's some beef.
Well, I know the 71. He's listed 6'3", 305. 75 is 5'11". He's just 295.
Oh, is that all? What about 63?
63, I can tell you what he is. That's Joey Robinson. He's 5'10", 245.
No, he's not.
Yep. I'm just reading the news.
I know.
Peyton under center, leaves it off straight up the gut with Haney this time. He lowers his head and bangs it in there. Brian Haney, he was listed at 5'4", 155. I don't know that he got the first down. It's going to be close. Depending on the spot, it will be a first down.
Well, Trimble County, we talked about the mispass, and they come out and put together a first down here against Corbin's first-team defense.
And more importantly for them, they're holding on to the football, keeping Corbin's offense on the sideline. 8:45 to go here in the first quarter. Corbin on top 7-0. Dave Cox and Bodie Foley with you.
One change I do see this week is Colby Sima is playing down in the defensive line rather than up at linebacker. We've seen him up in a 3-linebacker look last week, but he's back down in the defensive line.
Well, this is a very tight formation for Trimble County. Peyton's going to work out of the gun this time. Actually, the pistol. He's got a back in behind him. High snap's going to keep it himself. He starts on the left side, nowhere to go. Reedy wraps him up. I think Harley Lambert tackled him and the tackle.
Also on the stop, Cody Evans. Cody started the first game, and then last week we didn't see a lot of him. With a little different defensive lineup. Defensively, that's, they went the distance with that group of kids that's out there.
And here's the thing, Coach. I mean, in a game like this, certainly you want to go ahead and take care of business and win the game like you're supposed to. And I say that, as respectfully as I can. But you also would love to have a little competition because you got Danville next week, who's a really good football team.
Better believe it.
Peyton moves up under center. Handoff left side is right. He's into the secondary, breaks the tackle over the 40, the 45, about the 48-yard line there. Good run that time. This should be 43-yard line. Got my lines mixed up there. Gain of about 5.
Well, Corbin scored very easily on the first drive, a long pass to Kenny Hopper, and then we saw Kopic take it in for a touchdown. But now Trimble County's come back right here, and I like this. They put together a little drive. They said, hey, we're mismatched, but we're not backing down.
Well, here's what they want to do. They want to keep the football, and this is the way you do it, by running the ball, shortening the game. They're taking almost the entire 25, 30 seconds, whatever it is, in the huddle, snapping it late. I thought a couple times they were just about on the delay game track there, and there's moving on the line. Boy, the quarterback got smeared.
Well, I'll tell you what happened there. The center snapped the ball, but the quarterback wasn't ready. I think is what happened.
It is going to be a legal procedure against Trimble County.
Heads up by Corbin's nose guard, Cody Evans, because he was the only one that saw it and moved. Nobody else moved.
And Cody got a free shot there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
That was he bowled the center and the quarterback over. 6:50 to go in a fast-moving first quarter, I should say. 7-0. Corbin on top. Scored in 2 plays. Long pass down the left sideline for about 50 yards to Kenny Hopper. And then a 6-yard touchdown run by Jake Kopic.
I've got number 56 on my roster as John Love looks to be in the game over there.
That's what I've got on my roster. New formation here for Trimble County. 3 wideouts to the left side on 3rd down and 11 now. They set up wide receiver screen to get it out there. Caught. Short gainer out to the 40-yard line. That's a nice catch that time by Bo Hawks. Hawks makes the grab. Gain of about 4 on the play out to the 40-yard line of Trimble County.
To my knowledge, John Love, this is his first action of the year. I don't remember calling that name before. Do you?
I don't recall. No, he's going to head out after this play. Also going out for Corbin is number 20, Saylor Rasmus. Corbin very liberally making substitutions. 4th and about 8 now as Trimble County is going to kick it away. Back deep for the Hounds, Kenny Hopper standing about his own 22-yard line. Peyton does it all. The place kicker, the quarterback, and he's also the punter. Takes the snap, steps into it, and this one is off the right side of his foot. Hits well out of bounds, just over the 50-yard line. Looks like Corbin's going to take over again at about their own 49-yard line. That's where they started the first drive. It's actually going to be at the 46. So 1st and 10 for the Hounds, leading 7-0.
Corbin with some changes on offense now. Number 72, Jacob Lovett, in at one of the tackles. He did not start the game, but is in there now. The wideouts are still Hopper, and looks like Trevor Browning over there. 2 kids Tony was gracious enough to loan us.
Yeah. Had Drew Carter in the slot as well. Had a couple of touchdown catches last week. Taylor back to throw again. Fires across the middle, got his man, catch the ball by Carter, tracked down from behind at the 40-yard line. Nice open field tackle there, but it will be enough for a Corbin first down. Gain of 11 on the play. Carter Bowley becoming quite the receiver here early in the season.
Yeah, I don't think that was expected. I think they expected him to run the football some, but I don't think receiving is what they anticipate him doing.
You know what I noticed about him that stands out to me, and certainly I have a very untrained eye. He runs his routes at full speed. He is not tiptoeing around out there trying to think, am I supposed to go left or right? He's running like his feet's on fire from the time the ball snapped.
It makes a difference.
Back the pass goes Taylor, setting up the screen. They got the middle screen to Kopic. He's got one man to beat, starts around the right side. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. Starts up back towards the sideline, I should say. He's going to walk it in untouched. Touchdown, Kopic. His second of the game. Little screen right there, but I tell you, there's not a prettier play in football when it's ran perfectly than the screen pass.
I love that play. I really do. I love that play.
And for some reason, the middle screen just looks better than when they run it to either one of the sidelines.
Well, offensively, Corbin, just to be real frank with you, Dave, they're going to be able to run about what they want to against this defense. You can tell that early on, and I hate to say it, but it's just what it is. Lucas Cannonu on to attempt the extra point, puts the foot to this one, booms it right down the middle. All right. I tell you what, there's been years that we've not had any place kickers. This year we've got two. I know it.
Corbin leads 14-0, just a touch over 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. We'll step aside, get a little sponsor time in, and we will be back to Campbell Field. Stay with us. This is Redhound Football on T107. Canada's high end over end kick fielded by Haney at the 18-yard line. Fumbled it, picked it back up, and got it out to about the 22, then was hammered to the turf. He's very slow getting up.
On a stop for Corbin, Lucas Ellison. We saw Lucas early in the year at one of the defensive backs. He stepped in for Austin O'Neill, playing on special teams now.
A beautiful evening here at Campbell Field, Coach. This is the best weather that we've had thus far.
Without question. It was warm early.
Yeah, 5 minutes to go here in the first. Corbin on top, 14-0. Very tight formation once again for Trimble County. Two tight ends, only one wide out to the left, and he's only split out about 6 or 8 yards. Peyton moves up under center. Backs stacked in an eye behind him. Long count. They're using every bit of this clock. Handoff straight up the gut. Wagner lowers his head, bangs it out to the 25, maybe a gain of a couple.
This offense similar to what we saw last week with Pulaski Southwest with a lot of two tides.
Yeah, actually that was Haney. I take that back, really not Wagner. Either you're right. It's this for some reason to me the linemen splits are much closer. It's almost a rugby look.
Yeah.
We played a team. Was it not County Central a few years back that ran a crazy formation like that?
Yeah, I remember it. Beat them 84-60 or something.
Yeah. Peyton under center, leaves it on for the second back through. That's Haney on the jet sweep. He's going to be hit and drugged down from behind at about the 27. Gain of 3 will bring up third down and about 5 now for Trimble County.
Joe Ledford in the game for the Redhounds. One of the outside linebackers. He replaces William Reedy. Tucker Jewell went on the stop over there for the Redhounds. Also now in is Lucas Ellison. Lucas, sophomore defensive back. Try to get a lot of these young Redhounds names on the radio tonight if we can. We apologize if we miss one. We've got most of them memorized as the roster goes, but sometimes when the young ones come in, we'll stub our toe a little bit, but we certainly hope you'll forgive us for that and be patient.
And sometimes we just forget. That's just as simple as that. Third down and 5. Peyton pitch out right side. Haney's got it again. A blocker out in front of him. Front of the football. Ball is down on the turf, rolling around. Hounds say they've got it, and I believe Haney may have gotten back on the football. Nope, it's going to be Corbin ball. Corbin football. I'm not sure who came out the bottom of the pile with the ball, but the Hounds get the first turnover of the game. Take over first down and 10.
It could have been one of any 11 there.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. They had a pretty decent run game, but he maybe even pick up the first down. Haney had a block right in front of him. Somebody, the kid who was being blocked, just reached out and smacked the football away. Very alert play. I don't know if you saw much of the pro football game last night, but I'm going to tell you.
I did.
Seattle is a machine, aren't they?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Taylor back in at quarterback. Backs flanking into either side, Nance and Kopic. They're going to give it off to Nance, working to the right side. He's got a little room into the secondary, breaks a couple tackles, still on his feet, all the way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Gain of 18 for Nance.
Tackled by number 4, Michael Russ.
I don't know if he's listening or not, but I'd say hello to my nephew, Dalton Eubanks Burley, back from, been over in Japan for about a year and 2 months. Back now for a couple of weeks before he has to go back. But it reminded me when I saw Brian, because I saw him at the school today, and he was talking about seeing Dalton. He's a big Redhound fan, and his dad probably maybe at the game tonight.
Absolutely.
Taylor takes a snap, rolling to his left, looks for the end zone, fires to a wide open Trevor Browning, makes the catch, tiptoes on the sideline, touchdown. That's a nice catch that time by Browning as the ball was thrown a bit out in front of him, Burley. He had to make the catch and then drag his toes NFL style and in order to make the catch and make the play.
Well, I'll tell you what he does, and I saw him do it in the big catch he made last week, David. He catches everything out in front of his body with his hands. He really does a good job. And then again, he's one of the kids, when I call him one of the basketball players, one of the basketball kids that had success on the floor for Tony Petrosky's Redhounds, and just a tremendous athlete in addition to this team.
Cannon to attempt the extra point, puts the foot to it, splits the uprights. Corbin on top, 21-0, 2:53 to go. We'll break and then be back to Campbell Field. Stay with us. This is Redhound football on T107. Back at Campbell Field, Cannon. I noticed the guy over there, Burley. I think that is Daniel Mackey on the PL. He called him Tulio Cannon too. His name is Lucas, but Lucas booted that one into the end zone, Coach. he got his foot into that one.
Come unplugged on that one. Now that was a great kick. I had some distance.
Yeah.
But again, you know, our soccer program is doing just wonderful under the leadership of Skeeter Sima, and that's what they do. They kick. I mean, man, they kick and they run, and I mean, they're athletic. And again, knock on wood, and thanks to the program for allowing us to improve our kicking game with a couple of their kids.
It's got to be a lot of fun, though, for a soccer guy. You imagine any player getting to go play another sport, and all you got to do is show up for the games. I'd sign up for that. Peyton leaves it off in the back, but actually runs into his own man. He does get the handoff to Bo Hawks, but Hawks is going to be hit and dropped in the backfield. A little miscommunication there between the quarterback and his running back.
Big Dalton Anderson, and again on the stop for the Redhounds.
Second down and 12 now for Trimble County.
You got a new player in there, Hampton, big kid that played last week, Josh Hampton.
He's played quite a bit, Burley. He's had a nice impact this year as well.
He's getting better every week.
Peyton got up the line, 2 tight ends, 3 backs set right behind him, probably just a yard behind the quarterback. Very quick hitter in there to the fullback. Now he's going to be hit and dropped. I take that back. The quarterback kept it himself, and he was just bowled over. Loss of 5 or 6 on the play. 3rd down and 15 or so. My guess would be if Corbin scores another touchdown, Coach, that they will sub down quickly.
Well, you know, there's been change at the helm here. You know, Steve Jewell certainly was a gentleman about the scoring when he would pull the plug quickly, and he and his staff, Coach Ferris and the offense, and Coach Duncan, they always would put the young kids in, get them some experience. But you never know what a new guy's thinking, so we'll find out here.
No, that's true. You never know. I just would have to believe that this is what an opportunity to get your young guys in and also get out of this game without any injuries in the big game coming up next week. Hopefully no injuries. Back to throw his Hawks. Dumps it off underneath. Got his big tight end catch. Made the 20. Could be hit and hammered at the 25-yard line short of the 1st down. That's a big hit there by Dalton Anderson, I believe.
Anderson and also Austin O'Neill. What's a good little play by Trimble there? Play action. Corbin bringing everybody, and nobody counted for the tight end. They got him out here in the flat.
Brady Mahoney, he's a 5'9" senior, 215 pounds. They'll turn that corner pretty good, Bully. Looks like Trimble's going to go for it here on 4th down. Well, it didn't give him a good spot. He must have hit on the sideline over there before he was tackled. So there's going to be 4th and about 5, but why not? Trimble going for it here, trailing 21-0 on the 4th down and 5. No, they're not. He drops back into punt formation. Now I see it. There's the quarterback nearly blocked. He barely got it off. It's going to hit and takes a Trimble County bounce at the 50. Picked up on the hop by Kenny Hopper. Starts up the right side, breaks a couple tackles, still on his feet, and jumped down just inside Trimble County territory at the 48, and flags come down from everywhere.
Thought it had to be an illegal block on the Redhounds, I would think. First penalty of flag of the game, I guess.
Yeah,
no, we had an illegal procedure earlier.
Kenny had running that one back on his mind, didn't he?
He was going to get it no matter what. When really nice crowd on hand tonight again for Corbin.
Yeah, a lot of red over there. 58 seconds to go in the first. 21-0. Corbin on top as Redhound football when we get back to action. It is a personal foul on Corbin. It must have been a block away from the ball that we didn't see, Coach. Hey, well, we got a second. You're a professional coach. You got paid to coach. Probably cost you money, but as a professional, what did you think about Kentucky last week? Is there a reason for optimism? I know this. I know that you're a personal friend of Mark Stoops. You've had lunch with him.
Well, no.
Well, yeah, you have now.
Well, I did have lunch with him.
There you go.
I'm a personal friend.
But at any rate, and so I know your opinion is probably a little biased. But did you see any reason for optimism?
I do, and here's why I do. I see more depth than we've had at the running back position, and we saw that with the kid from Nebraska getting a couple of touchdowns and getting some touches as well. JoJo Kemp and I'll finish that after this play, Dave.
Going back in with the starters. Taylor back to throw, sets up, fires long down the left sideline. This time for Browning, well overthrown as they were trying to get Trevor Browning on the same play that they got Kenny Hopper on earlier, but that one over his head brings up 2nd down and 10.
But back to Kentucky, I saw improvement at the quarterback position, and I know level competition we were playing, but in our down years and past, we've kind of toyed with those teams a little bit. Beat them, but toyed with them. They didn't toy with them the other day. They went ahead and put them away, and that's the biggest difference I see right now. I just think we got more depth and we're a little more athletic than we've been.
I would have to agree. Again, very untrained eye, but I would agree. Taylor back to throw again. This time throwing down the left sideline. Got a man out there overthrown. Hopper was a good 5 yards behind the defender, and that one, a good pass, Burley. Was right on target, just a touch, not enough air underneath, what I should say. He had the line perfect.
Yeah, you know, in a game like this, coaches tend to want to throw the ball more, as we're seeing tonight, because they don't want to beat their backs up. You know, the running backs have come into this game bruised up pretty good. 2 very physical football games to start the season. Plus, you're just coming out of summer camp. So this is a way to get the ball in some people's hands, or skilled people's hands, that and don't beat them up as much.
Two wide outs to the left, backs in an offset eye to the left of the quarterback. Here comes Rudy on the jet sweep. They're going to give it to him. He's got a convoy in front of him looking for a block from Copic, and he gets it, turns the corner, first down and more over the 50 and busted out of bounds. He got smacked pretty good there at the 49-yard line of Trimble County, but a good run that time by Rudy and a really good block out front from Copic.
It was a really nice block, and I know early on they talked about Jake trying to do a better job with that. It looks like he's gotten the message.
Was there a flag that we did not see, Coach? I'm seeing the officials talking things over here.
I know what they're talking about, I think, and I think there was a flag on Corbin. It was an unnecessary hit, and it absolutely was unnecessary. I don't want to name the kid, but, you know.
Here, write his number down for me. But at any rate, I did not see it. But now, let me ask you, and I know I'm asking a rules question here, but he picked up the first down. It occurred afterwards, so it'll still be 1st and 10, correct?
First down.
Still be 1st and 10, okay. And that's what it will be. So they just lose the yardage. They don't lose the down and distance, but they just lose the yardage. So it's 1st and 10 now.
Here's what the penalty was. There was a play on the sideline here, all good and clean. And we had a Corbin kid away from the play, just take a run and dump one of the Trimble County kids. And you can't do that in even good competition, but you especially shouldn't do it tonight.
1st and 10 from the 37. Back in the gun is Taylor. Steps up, fires across middle. He's got Hopper in the secondary. He's at the 40. Makes one man miss. Turns on the afterburners all the way down to the 30-yard line. Drugged down from behind on a good open field tackle by number 4, Michael Russett. A good throw that time from Taylor, Burley.
Yeah, that was right on target. And Kenny made a good little cut there, too. That's some things I want to see him do. When he gets an open field, that experience will make him better.
Two right outs to the left. Now that's Copic and Hopper. Right side looks like Drew. That's Dylan Brock, excuse me. And Reedy. Nance flanking the quarterback Taylor to his left. Taylor looks to throw again. Sets up, fires off in the flats. Got a man out there. It's going to be caught. And this is going to be Brock runs over a man, lowers his head, cuts back at the 10, still on his feet. Looks like he's going to the end zone. Touchdown, Dylan Brock. What a run. I'm going to tell you something. That kid's a horse.
He's going to be a good player.
He's a horse.
He's going to be a good player. He's got good hands. He's athletic. Another kid who plays basketball, I think, David, again, athletic. And that's what I see about this in this Corbin team. Last week, 9 different skill people touched the football in that win.
I remember that kid from last year. We talked about him a lot, Burley. We said, well, this kid, he's really got some football moxie. In that time, he made a couple nice cuts. And then when he had no more cuts, he just lowered his head and dropped a boom on somebody. Handing him into 10th extra point. He stays perfect on the night. 28-0. Corbin on top. That will bring to a close the first quarter play. We'll step aside and get a break, then be back to Campbell Field. Stay with us. You're listening to Redhound Football on T107.
Starting to get some clean shirts in the game, David. Number 29, Justin Davis, in the game for the Redhounds. A couple more we'll pick up here as it goes on. Also, number 30 in there, Dustin Simpson, also in the game.
Lucas Cannon, who has hit the end zone again, Coach. That time hit it on the fly.
I don't know where 2 of those at, but
was it Wally Pitt that sat down for a little bit, took a day off, and never got his job back?
Yeah.
That's a good. Hey, by the way, it was not. That was Tony Karloftis that texted. Said she's on her way back from somewhere out of town and was just driving, enjoying the game. So we appreciate Tony, guidance counselor down at the high school. Appreciate Tony letting us know that was Lucas. Of course, she and Nancy White, the 2 guidance counselors, they know every kid in the building. So I mean, they know all their names, and we appreciate that from Tony. First of all, for listening, but second of all, keeping us up to date on all these names.
Got a new shirt up front there, Dave. I'm going to try to pick up his number. Can't quite get it from here. My eyes not what they once were.
Is it 57? No, that's Simon,
no,
right?
That's Simon. No, he's in there a lot. Maybe, like I said, my eye's not very good.
Peyton moves under center, leaves it off with Wagner. He's going to be hit and dropped in the backfield. Not much running room there for Wagner. Had a nice run to begin the game, and really not much room to go since then.
Well, the games went about as expected. In games like this, two things. One, you want to make sure that you come out of it injury-free, as you would every game. But in these, kids tend to let up a little bit, if you will, and maybe get a little bit fancy, and that's natural. No knock on the kid. And then the other thing, you want to make sure you still execute because all sports are habitual. You start to develop bad habits, you'll do them in big games.
Peyton moves back up under center. He empties the backfield. Now they bring the wide receiver in motion to hand it off to him. He starts around the left side, hit and dropped immediately. That's number 1, Brandon Yallow-Jones.
I'll tell you what, Tucker Jewell didn't make the tackle on that play, but I'll tell you what he did there. He really kept that pinned inside of him. That was really good work there by Tucker Jewell.
See, well, he's got some football moxie as well, doesn't he? He's a kid that knows.
He does. He's been around it a little bit.
Yeah, but he knows. But we've seen him make some plays. Even last year when he got in there as a young kid in some of the games that Corbin was well ahead, and he made some cuts that you can't teach.
155 pounds, 500-pound squat.
That's
Hello. I'm going to say that again. 155-pound Tucker Jewell has a 500-pound squat.
He nearly is squatting 4 times his weight. Imagine if we could squat 4 times our weight, Coach.
Yeah, well, you'd be a big man. You'd be strong if you squat my weight.
4 times our weight, so I'm saying. That'd be unbelievable, wouldn't it? High snap over the quarterback's head, rolling back towards the 5-yard line. Peyton's going to track it down and get on top of it there. And I think that...
and I know somebody that knows football out there is listening to us right now going, there ain't no way if a 155-pound kid can squat 500 pounds. Yes, he can.
No, it's not 550. You're right. You're exactly right. They were talking about it today. I was down at the school the day after it happened. They were talking about it, and I don't know what kind of records they keep, but that's got to be up there.
That's strong, especially for an undersized kid.
4th down at 24. Here comes the kick. It is nearly blocked. I think that went through the hands of Reedy, and Hopper's just going to move away from it and let it bounce. That's a smart move that time by Kenny. Goes all the way out to about the 38-yard line where Corbin will take over 1st down and 10, leading 28-0.
Well, Corbin looks like they're coming back with their first kids. 9:20 to go here in the first half. Throwing the ball, not running it much. 2 running plays, Dave, maybe.
Yeah, I think 2, 3. Kopic ran one in early, and
Vance had a carry.
Vance had a carry. You're exactly right.
And I think outside that, we've thrown it about every time.
Well, I never thought about that, but that's a really good point that you made. You're not trying to run the score when you do that. You're keeping people from getting hurt.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to beat them backs up again this week.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I've never really thought of that. Take it back to throw again. Sets the throw. Just lines up. Fires long down the left sideline to a streaking Hopper. It's going to be juggled around and incomplete. Boy, nearly an acrobatic catch down that left sideline. Hopper kind of tipped it to himself and then missed it as he went to the turf. Good coverage out there that time. In particular, Jones out there for Trimble County running stride for stride with Kenny.
Good arm strength, too, by G-Baby. He threw that thing about 45 yards in the air, Dave. I mean, he's really, out of all the Corbin kids, I mean, we've seen improvement in all of them, obviously. But I think he's made the most improvement. He's really worked on his strength and his body. He looks like a different kid now. He's just a lot stronger, and that's brought some confidence with that strength.
Well, he's played well. He's played well in every game.
He has.
Turning into a fine high school quarterback. Taylor working out of the gun again. Second down and 10 from the 38 of Trimble County. Here comes the rush. They flush him out of the pocket right. Sets up, fires across his body, middle of the field. Caught by Browning. What a catch in traffic. He's going to be hit and dropped at the 30-yard line. He was headed the wrong way there for some reason. Just the Trevor May ran himself out of the first down.
Well, he catches the football like a college or a professional player with his hands. I'm telling you, he really does a good job catching it with his hands.
You know what else he does, Coach? And
he came back to the ball.
He came back, but it's if you watch much pro football, Antonio Gates is that way. He was a basketball player. He sets up like he's blocking out. He blocked that kid out that time. That was really not a well-thrown ball. But he did not let the kid run. It was like he was posted up and would not let him come and get the football.
Great addition to this football team. You saw him on the basketball floor last year, plays hard.
Now, they've talked about that about Antonio Gates for years in the pros, that he would just set up in the end zone and just block you out. That's exactly what Trevor did right then. Low snap fielded by Taylor. Sets up, fires down the middle of the field. It's going to be caught again. This time it's going to be Severe with the catch. He struggles out down to about the 11-yard line. Good catch by Brady Severe. And once again, Burley, a lot of different folks touching the football.
Hopper, Browning, Severe, Brock, Kopic, Nance. A lot of different people being used. Taylor.
Yes. You're exactly right. And there's going to be some more they're going to get in there in a few minutes. If Corbin can score here, that's going to get to the 35 margin, provided they hit the extra point, which Cannon has done all night long. I believe that would get the clock running straight through. We'll see what happens. Taylor out of the shotgun, sets up, fires for the end zone. Incomplete, intended for Severe in the back of the end zone. Just overthrown the touch there. Brings up second down and goes from the 9.
Severe, another one of those good-looking young kids.
And that's one thing I did not do. I retyped this Corbin roster, and I just increased the font just a little bit, enough so I could read it. But I did not have room to put the year and the size and the weight and all that on there.
I think he's sophomore.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's sophomore.
Good-looking kid, though. He certainly passes the look test. You and I talked about it during the grill realm over here. We had a pretty good number 42 a few years back that kind of filled the uniform out, too.
You better believe it. You'll see him here in a few weeks, inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, Jared Lawson.
As he should be. Second down and go from the 9. Drew Carter flanking the quarterback Taylor to his right. They're going to set up and dump it out to him in the flat. Carter's got some blockers out in front of him. Turns the corner to the 10, 5. Angles for the pile on. Does he get in? Yes, touchdown, Corbin. Good block out front. I believe that was Browning out there leading the way.
Well, I talked to Coach Haddix about his receivers. He said that's one thing he really liked about Browning is he would get out there and he'll block you. He's got big hands. He'll get them hands on you and block you.
What I've seen from Trevor, Burley, on the basketball floor, he'll do about whatever it takes to win. He's a kid that has a really, really good motor.
We saw that in the regional tournament, how Tony got those kids to play at the right time, and what a great effort they gave.
Kennedy on to attempt the extra point. Drives this one right down the middle as well. Drilled it. 35-0. Corbin on top. 7:53 to go. We'll step aside and be right back to talk through most of our time.
Yeah, let's try to pick up some of these young kids on the kickoff team. Number 34 in there now for the Redhounds, Matthew Cornett. Matthew's been on there some this year. Number 38, Michael Morton. What a great family he comes from. That's Steve Morton's son, Dave. And get Coach Morton at the prescription shop.
Coach Morton, one of my favorite folks. I really like him.
That's just a wonderful family.
William Bennett, number 23 in there also, Coach.
All right. William?
He's on our end. That's about as far as I can see. County kick, this time a touch shorter, going to drive Wagner inside the 10, back to about the 5-yard line. Drops it, picks it back up, starts up the center of the field. Got a few blockers in front, and lowers his head, spins free at the 25 all the way out to the 30. I tell you, a good run back that time by Wagner. Setting up Trimble County in pretty good field position, first down and 10 at their own 31.
On the stop, number 30, Dustin Simpson. Dustin, one of the young kids playing on special teams tonight.
It looks like the first-team defense still out on the field, but
got a few changes. Got Lucas Ellison in now at one of the corners, but everybody else appears to be the same. And Lucas got a start in the first game of the year at Pulaski County.
Yeah, he's the same as a starter. Yeah, he plays quite a bit. Peyton moves up under center. He's got two wide outs to the left. They're tucked in very tight, though. Wagner in motion. They're going to hand it off to the big fullback. Lowers his head. He's got a little bit of room up the middle. Gets it out to the 35. Gain of 5 for Wagner. He's a hard runner, buddy, that kid is. Had a nice gainer to start the game and then kind of got held down a bit, but he's had a couple nice runs here in the last little bit. Trying to find him on my roster here. Listed at 185.
Beautiful night for football. Boy, I was in a good football area today, David. I was in Maslin, Ohio this morning, and that's some pretty good football up there.
Yeah, I've heard of that place. And you made a pretty good trip, a pretty quick trip back, Coach.
Yeah, I was up against it.
Take it down in 6. Handoff this time is going to be Hawks, the ball carrier. Cut down about the time he took the handoff. No gain on the play. Maybe even lost a yard. Third down and about 7 now.
Number 55, Cody Evans, in on the stop for the Redhounds.
55, Cody Evans, and number 68, Josh Hampton.
Corbin on top, 35-0. 6.5 to go here in the first half of play. Big game next week. Corbin on the road over at Danville. Gave the Admirals a pretty good spanking last year, and I don't think that sat real well with the Ads. So we'll have to see what happens this year. They look to be a much improved football team. 3 backs sitting behind the quarterback. Peyton handoff this time off the left side. Working very hard again is Wyatt Adkins running hard in there. I think I called him Wagner a minute ago. I apologize. Got Adkins and Wagner mixed up. That was Adkins running very hard there.
Tanner Powers on the stop for the Redhounds. Tanner, one of the seniors. 24 seniors on this football team, Dave.
Wow, they'll take a while on senior night. I'll tell you, I'm impressed with the crowd, Coach.
Without question.
4th down and 4. Looks like they're going to punt it away here. This time they're going to let Adkins have a crack at it. And he boomed it. I don't know why he wasn't punting before. Fair catch called for by Hopper. I don't know why he did that, but well, actually I do. He kind of lost his footing.
I think they told him to fair catch him. I watched him on the last one. He had a chance to field that one, and I've seen the coaches going to get away from it.
Good enough. Smart play. That makes sense to me. So he had a lot of room to run that time. I was a little surprised, but you don't want. That's the last thing. You don't want somebody getting hurt here trying to return a kick that you don't really need to return. 35-0. Corbin on top. Looks like we've got. I'm trying to see who they're bringing back out of. If they're bringing the starters back in here, Coach.
I think so.
Well, a few different. Dylan Brock's going to come in. Of course, he plays quite a bit with the first bunch in and out.
I got to think it's going to be a first half for the varsity and the second half for the JV.
Taylor's going to work out of the shotgun. Kopic in the slot to the left. Hopper down the left sideline. Taylor dumps it underneath the Kopic, makes the catch and cut down to the 32-yard line. Pretty good pass rush that time by Trimble County. They flushed Taylor out of there, but he did a good job rolling to his right and a good job of Kopic coming back to help his quarterback.
Yeah, that's one thing about Jake. He's got all that quickness. I mean, again, one of the goals this year when you talked to Haddix in the beginning of the year, he said we need to get him in space, and that's what they've tried to do.
4:55 to go here in the first half of play. Corbin on top, 35-0. Dave Cox and Burley Foley with you here field side. Taylor working out of the shotgun. Been there all night, takes a snap, sets up the throw, fires long down the left sideline. Got Hopper out there wide open, overthrew him just a bit. Kenny behind the defense, and he and Taylor just been off by a couple of yards that time. Had him wide open for the second time tonight. Maybe just a little bit more air under the ball, and that one would have been catchable. But again, if you're going to miss on a pass, you're better off missing long than short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just timing, and that's one thing I know the Redhounds offense is trying to work on a little bit tonight. Is that's a play we got in the end zone on that play over at Pulaski earlier in the year, and it's going to be a big hitter for us because Kenny has the speed to get there, and Corey has the arm for it. It's just about timing and work.
They're down in 6 now for Corbin, working from their own 33. Here comes the blitz. They're going to hand off Kopic left side, only his second run of the night. He's going to have the first down and more. He's into the secondary, up the left sideline, needs one block. He's going to take it to the house. 67 yards, Kopic, 10-5, touchdown as he dives for the pylon. And there's a flag that comes down on top of the play as there was a late hit in the end zone there.
No, I think that penalty's going to be on us.
For diving into the end zone?
I think so. I think so.
Well, it could be. He dove into the end zone. He did do that, that's for sure. And
we're going to see here if it is, but I believe that's going to be the call. Because here's what the official, if you dive because you're contested, you can do that. But I think he's going to say that it wasn't contested, so it should be. I think the call is going to be unsportsmanlike. But let's see what the call is here from.
See, I felt like, and I think you're exactly right on the on the definition, Burley. I felt like he was contested enough where he was protecting himself because there was a guy angling for him that was going to get to him about the time he got the goal line. But again,
well, Lucas is going to get back up here and see how strong that leg is.
I think they're going to test it on the kick.
On the kickoff,
I think, Coach. And so Cannon trying to stay perfect on the night, attempting his 6th extra point. Snaps a good one, steps into the kick, booms it plenty long enough right down the middle. Boy, I tell you, what a weapon. 42-0, Corbin on top, 4:25 to go. We'll get to see if Cannon can get it down there now because he's going to be kicking from about the 25.
Much improved Corbin kicking game.
You know, when you hear the guys that really know football, and they talk about, the 3 phases of the game, offense, defense, and they never leave out special teams. I tend to forget about stuff like that, but there's a good portion of the game that's played on special teams.
Very important, very important. I can't remember how many years back Millsboro had a kicker, and
Dustin Wynn
kept us pinned back all night, and then we would start from the 20 and they would start from the 50, and so they had to play half the distance we did all night.
Was it Dustin Wynn?
I think it was. Yeah, he went on to Kentucky.
Yeah, I remember that kid. He could boom it. And he will be kicking from 25. So all of the deep backs for Trimble County inching just a little bit forward. Back there deep is number 25, White, Atkins, as well as Jones.
Now, if he puts this one in the end zone, be a tough night at home once.
Yeah, if he puts this one in the end zone, Tulio may be wondering what's going on. I need to find out where Tulio's at. He's got a pretty good foot into it. That's going to drive Atkins all the way back to the 10-yard line. He boomed it. That one would have been 5 yards deep in the end zone. Atkins breaks the tackle. Still on his feet. Finally cut down to the 31-yard line. Good open field tackle by Bennett there, number 23, I believe.
It was. Hustling down. William Bennett. Also in, that time for the Redhounds, Caleb Myers. We'll try to get some of these players. Number 43 in the game on the kickoff was Alex Williams. Corbin right back with their first unit, except for number 31, Dustin Sams is in at one of the linebackers.
The clock is not running continually because they've got it stopped right now at 4:17. Maybe it will once they start this play. But Corbin's on top, 42-0, 4:17 to go here in the first half of play.
Yeah, it's still not started. I don't know.
Man, I'll tell you, I think too that Donnie Lewis called it tonight. He let the cannon go a couple of loads first, and then after that he's
can't waste them all.
He's saving them for another day. Peyton moves up under center, little movement on the line, no call, hand off right side. This is going to be Hawks, hit and cut down right at the line by number 31. That's a nice tackle, Burley, by 31. Who is that kid?
Dustin Sams.
Dustin Sams, yeah. What a good play.
Dustin Sams.
Now into the game, number 28 for the Redhounds, DJ Murphy. DJ, a sophomore.
Clock still moving, 3:45 to go here in the first half. 42-0. Corbin on top. Peyton moves up under center. Trip wide receivers to the right. Going to throw the wide receiver screen. They get it out there. Got to be made by Jones. Got a block or two in front. He's going to lower his head, fight forward over the 35 to about the 38. Gain of 5 on the play. We'll bring up third and about 4th.
Corbin starting to sub some people in. DJ Murphy on the stop, number 28 for the Redhounds.
Yeah, Corbin's got still a few of their starters. I see Reedy is still in there. Andrew Reedy is still in there, as is Dalton Anderson. Trying to pick out the kids. Tucker Jewell's still in there. He's played quite a bit. I think is Glasmus out there as well.
He is.
A few starters still on the field. Sprinkled in with some frontline reserves. Pitch out right side. This is going to be Adkins again. He may have picked up the first down. It's going to depend on the spot. He got it out over the 40, I believe. Looks like it's going to be just a touch shy. 4th down and maybe a half a yard. I'd say give it to him, guys.
Yeah. There is some officials over the years that I've seen do that.
Well, they did. There's one that just did. Mike Astros looked it over and said, close enough.
First down.
Hey, Mike knows what's going on. Caught a lot of big games. I think that's good. I think that's even a call that the Corbin fans will sign up for.
Maybe it's in the second half. It's continuous clock. Maybe not in the first half.
You may be right.
I don't know, but somebody straighten me out on that because that's something I should know, but I don't. I apologize for that.
I'll try to find out sometime during this week. I have a feeling that somebody out there who's listening will see one of us during the week and tell us. That's okay, too. 1st and 10 from the Corbin 42 now for Trimble County. Minute 55 to go. Back to throws. Peyton dumps it off underneath. Incomplete. Trying to get it out there to Adkins again through his hands, and that will stop the clock with a minute 50 to go. I think you're right, Billy. That probably is a first or a second half kind of thing.
Trimble County with a player down. It didn't used to be now. It could be now, but it didn't used to be.
A good crowd across the way here as the Redhounds trying to get to 2-1 on the year. They were in tough that first game against Pulaski County. Came out the first game of the Justin Haddock's era. Played much better in the second half of that game, but to be quite honest, that was just a really, really good football team. And second game, Southwestern, very physical game, Burley, and I think Corbin showed a lot of determination hanging around that game. Could have folded the tents a couple times, came out with the win. Tonight they're going to get their second victory of the season. Next week, I think, though, a completely different kind of team probably than we've seen all year long.
No doubt about it. It'll be a lot of quickness. It'll be fun to see how we match up with them because they got kids that can run without question, and we do too. We're pretty athletic this year, so anxious to see how that goes. Then you got South Laurel coming in the following week. They're trying to rebuild up there a little bit. Took it on the chin pretty good against Williamsburg, a good football team last week. I don't have any of the other games. I've been out of town this week. I don't know who else is playing in the area.
I don't have an excuse. I was at work today, but I actually worked all day today. So it was.
That's unusual.
It was very busy today. I usually can find.
What's going on?
I usually can find a few minutes to print off the games for the night so we can talk about it, or I go back after work and do. But I did not even have a chance to do that today. But with that being said, I don't know who's playing tonight either throughout the Tri-Counties. I guess I could pull it up on my phone. Maybe you'll do that at halftime.
We're sending both teams to the sideline.
Thornsberry is a kid that's down. I looked it's number 60, Cade Thornsberry. He's 5'11", 265. We're going to get him up now, but looks to be favoring a right ankle or knee.
Yeah. You hate to see that. A lot of scoring here in the first half as the Redhounds on top 42-0 over Trimble County. I don't think that's really any surprise to anybody that follows high school football. Trimble County having their struggles. I mean, they are. They have improved their numbers from what we've seen, but they're having their struggles as a football team. Played in a very close game last week with Clinton County.
When you look at it, though, Coach, this is football is just so much different than any other sport as far as rebuilding. I mean, basketball, you get a couple guys in there and build a couple role players, get a rebounder and a pretty decent defender maybe, and put them with a couple of nice players. Football, it's just not that way. I mean, it's just a marathon to try to rebuild a program from scratch. Is pretty much what from what we understand, Trimble's had to do, and it's just obviously it's an oversimplification, but it is a really hard thing to do. And Corbin has not been through that, not from that standpoint of having to
well, the era
start all over.
In my opinion, the era Trimble County is making is playing Corbin or people. They need to schedule themselves into a rebuilding mode, and I don't think they've done that.
Well, actually, I looked at their schedule today, Burley, and pretty much everybody. Corbin was the only team that I actually recognized as the quote-unquote football team on there. Now, maybe there may be one or two that I did, but now they play Bethlehem. They play some of these smaller teams later on, so they're going to have a chance to win a couple games, I think. Peyton looks to throw. The quarterback is going to be hit and sacked back at the 40.
Wanted to throw the screen out here to the left, but Corbin had it covered up pretty good. Crowd hanging in here, 42-0, but they're all hanging in here. Looks like it's mini cheerleader night over there as they got all the little bitty cheerleaders out with the varsity cheerleaders.
And that may speak a lot to our crowd right there.
Yeah.
Smart play right there. We'll schedule that tonight. 38 seconds to go here in the half. 42-0. Corbin on top. And the clock is stopped. And now they're going to wind it.
Yeah, we're going to have to get the clock rule figured out here.
We're going to have to get another roll of great tape, too.
I apologize for not knowing that.
Our banner fell on these poor folks in front of us about 3 different times. Finally, that gentleman turned around and said, "Guys, you got to put this up." He said, I can't keep rehanging your banner for us. For you, I should say. Pitch out right side. Hit and dropped right at the line of scrimmage is Adkins again. And that will bring to a close the first half of play. Corbin leads at 42-0 at the break. We'll take a timeout, then be back to talk with Coach about the first half, get you all set for second half action. Stay with us. You're listening to Redhound Football on T107. Back at Campbell Field, Dave Cox and Burley Foley with you. We did manage to pull up some of the games here going on throughout the Tri-Counties. We'll talk about those in just a minute. But first thing, Burley, would like to mention the little halftime ceremony. I shouldn't say little halftime ceremony. It was actually very nice for Mark Henderlight. Mark is battling cancer and a true Redhound, a very, very good athlete in his time. And again, I think the varsity club had a big hand in recognizing Mark here at halftime.
Well, that's what this community does. Excuse me, so well, David. They, it's a very caring place, and again, my hat's off to the Henderlight family and Corbin High School for recognizing him. He deserved it. He was a good player, very, very savvy player. But our prayers are with Mark.
Yeah, I remember Mark as a baseball player, one of the Little League All-Star teams that went all the way to the state tournament, and actually I think we're runner-up in the state his 12-year-old year. And certainly remember Mark, and they got him on the golf cart, and he's waving to the fans as he's heading that way, a big smile on his face. But our prayers certainly with Mark. Coach, a lot of action going on throughout southeastern Kentucky. We wrote a few of those games down. A couple of those games are very interesting.
Well, the one I see that jumps out at me here is Danville, Boyle County. That's going to give us a pretty good read on how good Danville is. Chuck Smith back at Boyle County now, and they've started off the season with a couple wins. One of the finest coaches in Kentucky. Maybe not just in Kentucky, but in high school. He's a tremendous football coach. Also, Harlan County at Belfry tonight. Belfry, should Corbin be able to get into the playoffs and go deep down the playoffs? Belfry's sitting down there down the road, Also, Lynn Campfield Russell hoping he can get his first win tonight over Jellicoe. And then South Laurel, and who comes in here in 2 weeks, and Rockcastle also playing tonight.
Coach, I'll tell you a game that jumped out at me, and I didn't tell you to write it down, or ask you to write it down, I should say. Two of those, I think, for me, Barron County playing at Glasgow. Our old buddy Jeff Gorman, assistant football coach of the year last year at Glasgow. Nice football team. But then another one that maybe the fans will want to look up the score tomorrow. Madison Central plays at Madison Southern. Madison Southern with the #1 running back supposedly in the nation. Madison Central, pretty good football teams. It'll be interesting to see how that pans out.
Well, he was down at Whitley County last week, and I don't know over the years how many #1 running backs, recruiting running backs we've had in the state of Kentucky, but this kid, Damian Harris, has drawn a lot of attention from everywhere. I looked up at his offer list. Just tell me a school, and I'll tell you if they offered him.
Well, your good friend Mark Stoops, is hot after him.
That's Paul Taylor's good friend.
Yeah, but he's hot after him.
But so was Billy Gillespie.
Yeah, Billy Gillespie.
Let me point that out too.
Yeah, that's true. He was. You're right. So let's hope that Mark Stoops' fortunes at Kentucky fare a little better than Billy G's.
Well, he needs to stay away from Paul.
Yeah, there you go. That may help. That's kind of what I was alluding to. But with that being said, though, Coach, on a serious note, I'm thinking about the Danville-Boyle County game. Is there some advantage, or am I reading more into it than is there, to potentially play Danville the week after they're coming off the game of Boyle?
My personal preference would be that Boyle beats them. If I have to play the opponent next week, I hope they lose the week before.
But whether they win or lose, is there some advantage in playing them the week after the Boyle game, because that is the game?
Absolutely.
That is the game they circle on there.
Absolutely. Their focus has been all about that, and that's why if they get defeated, then boy, that takes a lot of momentum out of you. It takes a lot of wind out of your sail.
Yeah, they play for big stakes over there, Coach, and I think one of those, not the least of which, is recruiting in that county. I mean, they swap athletes back and forth, and you can take a look as the years when Boyle County won all the state championships, Danville probably wasn't quite as much, and vice versa. So a lot of good football over there, and certainly we'll get a good look at Danville next week as we travel over to take on the Admirals. Still about 6.5 away from kickoff here in the second half. Corbin's on top 42-0. Stick around. We're going to talk about a lot of things in the second half probably, and some of them may even be the football game. We'll be right back. Back at Campbell Field, Dave Cox and Burley Foley with you here field side. teams starting to work their way out of the locker rooms, where Corbin is actually. They went in tonight, and Trimble County, on the other hand, they just kind of huddled up down in the end zone, choosing to stay out in the cooler night air. About 3.5 minutes on the clock before we get underway. We'll probably add a couple more minutes on to that, but Corbin leads it 42-0 here at the break. Dave Cox and Bodie Foley with you. Bodie, asked Justin Haddix. We don't get to hear well, nobody got to hear the interview tonight. It sounded like Alvin and the Chipmunks. Evidently, we had a production problem there, but probably back at the school today when we did that. All that being said, one of the things I asked Justin was, what improvements do you see from week one with this football team? From the beginning of the season, what do you think you're doing better now than you were earlier on? And his comment was a couple things. He said he thinks they're executing better. That his offense is predicated a lot on timing, and he feels like that is getting better. And he also felt like they were hitting a little bit better, and they were probably tackling. Do you agree with the coach on that from your perspective?
Yes, absolutely. I think that without question we're tackling better. We saw that last week. It's hard to tell tonight, really, if we're doing any better or not. But, tackling something that I personally believe you work on every week. And they went back, from what I understand, after that Pulaski County game and really worked on it. But I have seen great improvement in that last week and again here tonight. But it's hard to tell tonight. Execution was better last week. Well, and one thing I'm surprised he didn't mention was not turning it over now either. Turned it over some in that game, and I think that's very important. But one thing I saw in that game last week was when Corey threw the interception. I really wanted to see the reaction of the football team, and more so in how he would react. I thought he reacted tremendous because he came back to do a touchdown strike to win the game.
Yeah, where he had a window of about 2 feet to throw it in.
Yeah, so that to me is big improvement as well too, because he, you can be a senior or a fifth-year senior or a first-year freshman. It don't matter. Poise, composure, and competitiveness is something you expect out of your quarterback. And I saw that in Corey last week.
Well, I would agree, and I'll tell you, I'll throw one more name into that. I appreciate the coaching staff for coming right back to the well. It would have been easy to shy away from that when you got it down there, around the 20, and maybe not call that play again or call that kid's number because of you're afraid the same result may happen. But he goes back to him, and he was rewarded for it. So that's one thing I think that good coaches do all the time. They instill confidence in their players. And Corey knows now that he can make a mistake, and he's still going to have an opportunity to play.
Still okay.
Yeah.
Still okay.
1:09 to go on the clock as we're winding down, and maybe they won't put the other 2 minutes back on. I'm going to tell you, Trimble County's warmed up more here before this half than they did before the game.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was about. I was a little worried about the traffic coming in today. As you know, I was out of town trying to get here and was a photo finish, but they cleaned that up through there. When I left town, that was a mess between here and Berea. A real mess. I was hoping, matter of fact, I thought about these kids. I thought what would be a bad thing is have to sit on that bus 3 hours in that traffic and it about 90 degrees. I mean, honestly, that'd been terrible.
It would have been. And I don't know that they had any issues getting here, to be honest with you. They were on time. They just chose to stay in the locker room up until 15 minutes. Maybe letting it cool off, and maybe they were, I don't know, maybe perhaps they were stretching out in there, but they have been out quite a while here just before the half, getting ready to go. Corbin's out of the locker room as well. Still a really good crowd on hand over there. Looks like we've got maybe we've turned the corner here on the summer. We're into September now. Still going to have some warm nights, but really the next month and a half in Kentucky is probably the nicest time of the year as far as weather's concerned.
It's very nice. It's football season and fall. I mean, that's a great combination. That and a good television.
That is, in conjunction with a big screen TV, is pretty handy. Yeah, there you go. They put the final 3 minutes up on the clock. So we're going to break one more time with Corbin leading 42-0. We'll get a little sponsor time in and then be back to Campbell Field. Stay with us. This is Redhound Football on T107. Back at Campbell Field, Dave Cox and Bodie Foley with you here, just about ready to get things underway here in the second half. Corbin on top, 42-0. Hounds out on the field. Lucas Cannonier has it teed up, ready to kick it off from his 40. The Raiders of Trimble County still gathered up around head coach Justin Franklin. Most of the crowd still hanging around. Coach, are probably, as much as anything, just enjoying being outdoors on such a pretty night.
Yeah, it's beautiful. A little stiff in this press box, but the tide will turn.
Oh, yeah.
There'll come a time when it's a little better in here.
Yeah, then there'll be a time when, if you're not careful, you'll be like our buddy Terry Joe Martin, set yourself on fire up here.
Yeah, that could happen.
We were up here that night, I'm telling you. That was dangerous. One of those neoprene or nylon suits on, he got up against that heater. Long kickoff by Cannonier again, going to go into the end zone. Touchback. That is his third touchback tonight, Coach, I believe.
He's kicked it well. He's kicked it very well. Looks like we're going to see a lot of clean shirts now.
Start at the 20-yard line. First.
You know, I've always said, and I said it earlier tonight, but that's the amazing thing about the football season to me, is you start out, it is so hot you can barely stand it. And by the time you're done, if you play as long as you hope you do, it's really cold. It gets really, you know, there's been many times up here that we've just been begging the game to get over.
A lot of new shirts in there. Number 61, Dylan Lawson. Number 56, John Love. John played a little bit earlier. Also number 29, outside linebacker into the game, Justin Davis.
DJ Murphy in the game too, Coach. He played a little bit earlier as well, 28. Quarterback's going to keep it himself as he starts around the left side. That is a short run there by Peyton, a gain of only a couple yards. Also number 43 in there, Coach. That is Alex Williams, maybe in for the first time tonight.
Free safety.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll keep an eye on the clock here to see if it is a second half thing, continuous run. You know, at one time, if I'm not mistaken, that was kind of the coaches had to agree to that too, didn't they, to run the clock?
I think you might be right.
So maybe that was the case. I don't know.
It could be. I don't know. And I think at one time it was 45. Then they backed it off. So I don't even know really. That's a rule we'll try to get down pat before we come back next week. Handoff up the gut. This is going to be Adkins again, short gainer. Bring up third down and long for Trimble County. Yeah, there's some interesting scores to try to look up on the internet tonight. In particular, for me, the Boyle County Danville game.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see how that comes out. I'll tell you what I think. Boyle County.
Do you?
I do.
Was it at Boyle?
I don't know either team. Don't know anything about either team. Other than Danville's came out and won a couple pretty good games as well as Boyle. This guy can coach football. We'll see.
Third down and a long 8 for Trimble County. Orangeberry, I see on the sideline of the young man that was hurt earlier. He's got his cleat off. He's not going to be back in tonight. It doesn't appear. Back to passes. Peyton fires it down the middle. This one up for grabs. Going to be picked off. Taken down back there by number 28, DJ Murphy. He's got a lot of folks in front. Starts up the left side. He's going to take it in for the touchdown, but it's going to be called back, though, as flags come down from everywhere. Somebody blocked in the back there. I'm not sure who it was, Coach, but Corbin's going to keep the football. But Murphy will not get the touchdown.
It was a clip, and it had nothing to do with the play, and that's one of those where you're DJ Murphy, you go, man, my first varsity touchdown, we get a clip, and not only do we get a clip, it had nothing to do with the play. He was going to be free anyway.
If that clip was what sprung you for the touchdown, you could almost see it, but you're right. That I was watching the ball and did not see any block in the back at all, but it was clearly away from the football.
The clock's not continuous running.
It may be, and we're just surmising here, maybe 45 points, Coach. I don't know.
No, it's less than that.
Is it?
Yeah. I do know that. I do know they changed it. Well, I mean, we're 48. Oh, well, we didn't get that one, did we?
No. A lot of laundry on the field right now. Everybody that has a striped shirt on, including the alternate, threw a flag on that play.
It was pretty obvious.
Yeah, he pitched one in from the sideline over there. Yeah, I think Tick may have threw a flag on that play.
He has thrown before. I've seen Tick referee a little bit. Tick Howard. Good man.
He's been around this football program for a long time, hasn't he?
Corbin coming back with their offensive starters. I see Alec Gamble out there. Also, Zach Moore. Brady Ferris still a center. No, I take that back. Brady is not in.
We got Drew Carter here to the left. Hopper's in.
Yeah.
To the left. Same quarterback. So 8.5 to go in the third. Corbin on top 42-0. Taylor back to throw. Sets up, fires long down the right side. Intended up there for Reedy. Batted away at the last minute. Good defensive play out there.
It was a good defensive play. Very good.
Number 84 out there, Zach Nelson in coverage. I believe it was 84.
Well, let's go text my brother Wendell. He said it's 36 points unless the coaches agree otherwise.
So 36 is mandatory then?
No.
Unless they agree otherwise?
Unless they agree otherwise.
Okay, so they may have agreed to make it, but not do it at all. Here's a play that's going to be stopped before it gets going, and an illegal procedure penalty against Corbin. Looks like they may have had a back fall out of their stance there.
Corbin with some new linemen in the game now. Jacob Lovett, one of the tackles. Dalton Eaton in there. Young man started for the Redhounds. And also Zach Ingle still at the other tackle. Gamble moved over to center now.
Taylor still working out of the shotgun. Nance to his left. Now they motion him out of the backfield, over to the right side, I should say. Wide outs to both sides. They're going to throw the wide receiver screen out there to Reedy. Gets a crackback block from Nance. Reedy starts up the right sideline. He is like a jet. He's out of there. Touchdown, Corbin. No flags. I'll tell you what, he's got some speed, Coach. Is he faster than Hopper? That's close. That'll be a good race.
I don't know. They're both fast, but I'm telling you, that kid's fast.
And he got up that sideline. He ran his blockers. Touchdown, Reedy. That is Harrison Reedy. And Corbin has extended their lead to 48-0. I think Kenny's a little more deceptive, and he has maybe a longer gait.
He does.
But pretty good speed on both. Well, when you got those two cats in there at your wideouts, that's
I know this. I saw Kenny in that regional tournament. He is quick.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Cannon under took the extra point. Boy, he kind of chillied at that one a little bit, but it's still going to be good. He got a lot of turf, but it did make it across the crossbar, and Corbin extends their lead to 49-0, 7:19 to go. Just hang on to it right here during the break.
They must have some kind of agreement that they're not going to run the clock.
Well, here, I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you, Coach. Here's the thing. If you travel 3 hours, you probably want to play, and they knowing they're going to be playing against probably the rest of this game, at least for a good part of the game, the second team of Corbin, and maybe the third team. Why not?
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, if you're just up the road, and that's one thing, but if you come 3 hours on a bus, a hot bus, mind you, today.
Some of those are air conditioned now, Coach.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've got one or two that are air conditioned, maybe more. I know we got a couple that are.
I've never been on one.
I haven't either. No, I haven't either. The buses that me and Mr. Tremaine used to take were not air conditioned. It was hard for me to sleep sometimes. It got so hot.
I used to drive the bus a little bit on trips.
I did too. I had my CDL for a while. Here's another booming kick. This one is deep into the end zone. This Cannon, that one actually hit about the goal line and bounded forward. Another touchback, the fourth of the night for Lucas Kennedy. And that's a weapon in high school football.
It certainly is. He's kicked it well. Not only has he kicked it deep, he's kicked a lot of extra points tonight. He may be our leading scorer.
Number 14, Caleb Myers into the game, Coach. I don't believe you've called his name yet. As is number 9, Caleb Parker. A couple of Calebs in the game. 61 also in the football game for Corbin. That's Dylan Lawson.
Got a score in. Bell County 37, Whitley 7 in the third.
And Bell's, we can talk about all the scheduling that we want to talk about. Here's Adkins off the left tackle. Nowhere to go. He's hitting stacked up right at the 9. But the game that is circled and highlighted and underlined on our schedule every year is Bell County.
Hey, let me tell you something. They're a very good football team. They're very well coached, and we'll have our hands full.
Old buddy Mike Haggard down at Tri-County Sporting Goods just texted us and said Williamsburg's up 42-0 in the first half over Pike Central. I don't know how Mike would know that unless he was listening to our competitors. But we do appreciate the text, though, Mike. Off left side, Adkins again. He'd be stacked up at the line.
He's supposed to be texting them our score, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah. Mike, one of the good guys. They had a lot of fun playing baseball with him. I don't know how it worked out. We were on the same Little League team all the way through, and then on the same high school team. Then played softball together for about 10 years.
I don't know how it happened. Y'all cheated.
Let me tell you, it was no bargain to have me and him on the same team, let me tell you. That was no bargain for anybody. But he was a fine baseball player, fine softball player as well. Handoff left side, this is going to be Wagner, and he's hit and lost the football. But lights came down prior to that thing getting started. I believe that it's going to be a legal procedure against Trimble County.
Corbin going with all young kids on defense, but the first O still been going at it.
Number 17 also in the game, Coach. I don't believe you called his name yet. That's Winston Marcy in the football game.
Nope.
31 in there as well. Dustin Sanders. We called Dustin's name earlier. He had a nice tackle earlier in the game.
Hey, Dustin plays some on special teams.
Yeah.
For the Redhounds.
So when you think about playing sports with Mike Haggard, he's a little bit of an instigator.
You think?
Yeah, he would you'd be playing the game and all of a sudden everybody on the other team or the umpire, somebody would be mad at you, and Mike was a lot of times in the middle of all that.
Another score in here, Belfry 31, Harlan County 7.
Well, there's a nice punt that time as I'm trying to get the kid's name right here. Adkins.
I think we've seen on the schedule.
Put that one right over our deep back
looks
there.
like tomorrow night we mentioned Harlan County, or not Harlan County, but Knox Central and North Laurel playing tomorrow.
Yes, they are.
That's an interesting matchup.
In the Appalachian Bowl. And you know another thing, another game that we said was interesting, Harlan County Belfry will be an interesting game to check the score on that one.
I got one on that. It's it's 31 Belfry, Harlan 7 right now.
Technology is wonderful. People can text you, and you can just throw it out there. My buddy Mike says maybe he's at the Williamsburg game listening to us.
Oh, yeah.
maybe he's on his couch with a nice cold Pepsi, the seat propped up.
Number 78 in for the Redhounds. And boys, he's a monster too. Jacob Parton.
New folks in the game, handoff left side, big back. I missed the number there, Coach. That's a big kid running the football for Corbin there. Get his number. That is
number 38.
Yeah, a good-sized young man. That's Michael Morton. Was that Morton?
Yep.
Yeah. This big back there, didn't he?
He ran hard up in it.
Yeah.
New back in the game, Cameron Sizemore.
Yeah, from Dalton Sizemore's brother from down in Williamsburg, correct? Just a freshman. Here's a handoff on a little counter play off the left side. Another new back in the game is that number 14. That's Caleb Myers.
So Corbin going with all young kids now. Number 71 also up on that front line, Tyler Lawson, one of the seniors in there. Number 64 also in the game, Dylan Carrick.
And this is a little bit of a payoff, a little bit of a carrot for these young men who practice out in that heat every day, just like everybody else.
That's right.
You know, their time clock looks just like everybody else's, doesn't it? Sizemore, left-hander, fires up the left side, incomplete. I'll tell you what, buddy, he's a good-looking kid, too.
Big kid. Corbin with some young talent. And, you know, in Trimble County, and again, they don't know this, but Corbin has another set of young backs that did play, and that's Carter, Tucker, and Brock, which Brock's playing some in the thing. But, you know, normally you'd go varsity and then your second back.
They kind of skipped the second back.
Yeah, but they went on down to the freshman, looks like.
You know, who was the last left-handed quarterback Corbin had prior to this?
I'd say my son.
Was your son before or after Sandy Smith? There was a big sack all the way back at the 31-yard line as they tracked Sizemore down back there. Yeah, you're right. I was thinking, didn't know if BJ or Sandy was first. Sandy was before BJ, right?
He was.
Okay. something about it, just the left-handed kid. It just looks so smooth when they throw and they shoot a basketball, throw a baseball. Just for some reason, it just looks good.
Well, interesting thing about BJ, he threw a baseball right-handed.
Yeah, I know. That was strange, wasn't it?
Threw football left-handed.
Yeah. Here's a 36 points according to the KHSAA as they're running the clock as of February of last year.
Well, they're not running it tonight.
No. And again, it may have been a prior agreement on the coach. And you know something? I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Let these young men play. And hey, listen, I guarantee this bench on the field for Corbin's good with it.
If they don't want it run, that's right.
Movement on the line. Flags come down. This will be the last play. Would have been the last play of the third quarter. Now they're going to let it go ahead and filter on down. And that will bring to a close. Well, no, they stopped it with 5 seconds there.
Here's one of the most difficult things as coaching, though. You're trying to manage your varsity kids in a game like this because they're out of the game, make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. Your second get-backs are going, or your second team is going, hey, I want some action.
Yeah.
But they've already been in.
Yeah.
Then your third guys are out there, but then you got some other guys over there too.
Yeah.
And you got to find. I mean, it used to drive me crazy to make sure everybody gets some, a few plays.
And you probably have 2 or 3 seniors there that have paid their dues that you really want to run something special for them.
And honestly, sometimes you just overlook it. It's the sad part of the game, but I've done it. Matter of fact, I had to apologize to a kid one time. We went ahead and subbed down, and when we did, I let the kid out, and I should have never done that. But it's
completely honest mistake.
It's very doable.
Well, they do let the clock go ahead and wind down. That will be the end of the third quarter. Looks like we've got another. This is the announcer. Some more student recognitions here at halftime. I had one that we forgot to talk about earlier in the game. The Corbin Junior Chef team. They call them the Roasting Redhounds, led by Jessica Lester. They're I think finished third in the state at the state fair. And then this is the Robinson Scholars. There's I believe 5 of those folks right there. I know
a couple of them off football team.
That's Michaela Beecham, the two of the Reedy boys, Seth Evans, and gosh, I hope I can't recall the other one real quick. They got out of before I could see him. But so the Governor Scholar's pretty good gig.
I'd say.
You pull that off, you've done really, really well.
I got a suggestion on your cooking team. Maybe I can come down and sample their stuff when they cook it sometime.
You could. You'd be more welcome. Let me tell you something.
It's free, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Good point.
I'd be interested in that.
It's free to sample, not to have a meal.
Oh, I don't know that.
And off right side to Jones, breaks the tackle, the line of scrimmage, lunges forward to about the 35-yard line. That is Brandon Yowler Jones, one of those hyphenated last names, Yowler Jones.
Trimble County, David, in a kind of an odd place when I say that. As far as the state lies, it's kind of up on the Ohio River, and when you look at it on the map, it's an interesting ride. It really is. But boy, they long way back for these young guys tonight.
Yeah, I talked to one of our fans here before the game, and it was 3 hours.
3 hours.
That's about what it took us last year. Of course, we were just cruising, although we left plenty early. It's an interesting thing. There's a guy from Corbin that owns a restaurant over there. Here's a handoff up the middle. It's they call him. Is it Big Eye Hughes? Is that right?
Seems like I've heard that story.
But I read that today somewhere, and it owns a restaurant over in Trimble County.
Here's something interesting we talked about earlier. Damian Harris has 8 carries for 255 yards, and Madison Southern leads Madison Central 21-11.
255 yards. Wow, for 8 carries. That's
unbelievable.
And joined by buddy Mark made it up. Mark Henderlock made it up here to the radio booth.
Old Redhound, old savvy Redhound.
And off left side, this is going to be Jones again, I believe, gets it all the way out near the first down to about the Corbin 28-yard. I'd like to see these guys punch one in, Coach.
Yeah, I would too. It'd be good for everybody if they did. Appreciate that.
We sure appreciate it.
Good to see you, buddy. I'm praying for you, buddy.
He's a good fella, buddy. Mark is good. I tell you what, outstanding athlete here, Corbin. We appreciate you coming up and saying hi, Mark.
Super. Mark Enterlide come up to the booth. Fantastic.
Now, I remember him playing Little League All-Stars, and boy, he was about as slick a shortstop as there was out there. He could play it.
True kid. Loves Corbin.
And I tell you what, he doesn't miss many football games.
No, not at all.
He's here every week, and there's offsides on Corbin. There's going to give Trimble County the first down. Also in the game, buddy, number 30 there, Dustin Simpson. I think you called his name earlier on special teams.
Yeah, he's been playing some on the kickoff team tonight. What a treat for these young kids getting their first action on Friday night.
Yeah.
I mean, they get it on Monday night and they get it on Thursday night, but it's nothing like getting it on Friday night.
No, you're right. When the big lights are on, you're exactly right. They've had a good time. And this has been pretty competitive here, you know, since they brought him in. Trimble's got a nice little drive going here, but been fairly competitive. Peyton is in, new quarterback in the game, incomplete for Trimble County. That's number 18, Tracer Fox.
And whatever the agreement was, it looks like the clock is continuous run right now. So we do have an interpretation of the rule, but I guess what we didn't understand that we do now, if the coaches have some kind of prior agreement, then you can go ahead and stop the clock.
And I think that's good because, I mean, Trimble, like we say, came 3 hours. That's some young kids they need to get on the field.
Right. Oh, well, let's talk about this, too. I think Coach Addix has shown a little class tonight by not leaving the starters in there and trying to run this thing up and get it in the 60s or 70s. He's playing his young kids, and I thought that would be the case.
Well, I think you made a good point, too, Coach. Actually, people that really made this look on the surface would think they're trying to run the score by throwing the football that much. But in reality, if they had ran the football, they probably would have scored on every other play. Because, again, the plays that they ran the football on were huge gainers.
Oh, they were, yeah.
So it was, you know, we were trying to work on some timing things, but in reality, it did keep the score down just a bit.
I think it comes back to this, though, David. I think it was a game where you don't want to beat those backs up. I really do.
That's a good point. I totally agree.
Let me tell you something. Playing running back in high school football can be pretty taxing on you.
Well, and again, I think that the first two games were very physical football games. This is a nice fit. I'm sure that Steve Jewell scheduled it this way. When he made the schedule a couple years ago, he's thinking, you know, we're going to have two tough ones, and then we'll get a little breather, then we got another tough one.
Coach Jewell here tonight working his academic role.
Now, I tell you, I believe he's had a big hand. There's a handoff the left side around the corner. Some pretty good running room there for Caleb Myers. He's still on his feet all the way up to the 35, 37-yard line. Then flags come in on top of the play. I think Steve was involved in some of these academic recognitions here at halftime. He and Johnny Crawford, Nicole Brock, the administrative team down at the high school, along with Tony Karloffis and Nancy White, the guidance counselors there, really doing a good job.
Well, I know this about Steve, and I can say this about all the staff in the Corbin school system, but especially Steve. Whatever he does, he'll do it with discipline. He'll do it with integrity, and he won't cut no corners. He really won't. He'll do it the right way. He's just a tremendous man.
He's been a really good asset down there for Mr. Crawford and Miss Brock. And you know, when you got 800 plus kids running around, almost 900 kids running around down there, you know, you need some Chiefs, and they've got three pretty good ones there. There's a Myers again, a little pitch around the right side, gets it all the way out to the 40-yard line. That's going to be enough for the first down.
He's got a little quickness.
Yes, he does.
Corbin tonight, David, we saw again 10 different athletes touch the football. Two of the newcomers caught passes again tonight, and Hopper and Browning. When I say newcomers, they've been around football some at a younger age, but this is their first real times at being thrown into the fire, and Kenny Hopper and Trevor. We also saw Jake Kopic break a long one tonight, and that was good for Jake's confidence.
Caleb Parker wide to the right side now. He'll give it off to Bennett. He spins free with tackle at the line of scrimmage. Good move by Bennett. Lunges forward. Good run that time by that young man out to the 46-yard line. That's number 23, William Bennett, with a run of about 6-7 yards.
What about Coach Watkins' beard over there? What do you think about that?
You know, I was talking to him about that yesterday, and I was up at their school doing some things, and I talked to him about that, and he said that his wife Jenny had asked him about trimming it up. He said he thinks he's just going to let it go for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice one.
It's really nice.
You know, he would have probably placed, I'm going to say, 3rd or 4th in the mid-block beard growing contest back in the day.
Oh, yeah, he wouldn't have won it.
It's not really a full beard. It's kind of a billy goat beard, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a billy goat.
Ben at this time nowhere to go as he is trapped in the backfield, knocked down at the 40, lost for about 5 or 6 on the play.
A lot of young Redhounds in there tonight. We'll try to pick them up for you. Alec Gamble, one of the starters, still in there. He's playing some. Also, number 72, Jacob Lovett. Jacob played a little bit with the varsity. Number 71, Tyler Lawson, one of the seniors in there. Zach Rose, also one of the Redhounds we hadn't mentioned this year, has been injured. Saw him wearing a cast. Zach, number 75. Don't see him in there. He must still be on the injured list.
Clock continues to wind down, Coach. 4:35 to go now in the football game. 49-0, Corbin on top. Redhound ball. 3rd down and about, let's call it 8. Working from their own 41. Sizemore back to throw it. He's going to have to turn it up himself. Lowers his head, runs through a tackler. Hard run that time by Sizemore. Picks up a gain of about 3 or maybe 4. I tell you what, that kid's got some courage. He lowered his head and took that hit on.
Yeah, he come got him. Trimble County's still playing hard. They really are.
You know, I remember that from last year. You know, you kind of get reminded of things as you go along. When you get as many games under your belt as we've got, that's a nice way of saying you're older. But you remember things. And I remember them playing really hard last year, Coach. I do remember that.
Seems like they got a great bunch of kids, too, David. A lot of good sportsmanship going on out there tonight.
Looks as if Corbin is going to go for it here on 4th and change. 4th and about 8, I should say. 3:40 to go in the football game. 49-0, Corbin on top. High snap fiddled by Sizemore. He's going to keep it himself. He starts around the right side. He's going to be hit and dropped. Nice open field tackle at the 42. On number 22, that is Christopher Weaver.
Yeah, couldn't turn the corner there.
And my hope here, and you know that I'm a Corbin fan, but my hope here with 3 minutes and change left here.
Absolutely.
That Trimble could punch one in.
I hope they do too.
Not at the expense of any individual Corbin kid, because I know that would make them feel bad, but I'd like to see them get one in. These guys will play hard all night long.
And we wish them good luck on their journey back up to the Ohio River region.
Braden Severe in playing some defense now. Coach saw him in.
Actually, it's not Braden. That's number 42, but that's not Braden, I can tell.
Well, you know, I kind of thought the same thing. I said, it doesn't really run like Braden. He looks like a younger kid, but we've got a timeout on the field. We'll just hold on to it here, 2:53 to go. I'd like to remind everybody to stay tuned for our Minuteman on time, on target player of the game, maybe players of the game. We'll try to figure all that out here, as well as our Froyo post-game show. So we're going to get out here early enough tonight, Coach. I may run up and sample some of that good Froyo's frozen yogurt after the game tonight.
It's warm enough. I think I told you this, David. Damian Harris has 8 carries for 255 yards as Madison Southern leads Madison Central 21-11. Damian Harris.
Okay, let's do the math on that, Coach. 8 carries, 253.
You better do that.
Well, that's 30 yards a carry, right? 30 yards a carry would be 240. 30 and change.
Why you want to put me on the spot like that?
I'm just saying. I mean, at the average 30 yards a pop, that's pretty good. You know, maybe he is number 1 in the country. Here's a handoff, nearly fumbled and then recovered. And the up back there is going to be hit and dropped. Loss of a couple yards on the play for Trimble County.
Number 54 in on the stop for the Redhounds, DJ Causey.
Where does your buddy Stoops say that he's going to go? What's he think?
I don't know. I really don't know. A lot of people think Ohio State. Well, he's narrowed it to 4 now. Kentucky, Ohio State, Alabama, and Florida, maybe.
Packers.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, they need him after last night.
Yeah. Pitch out right side, nearly fumbled, and caught in midair again. This time, number 22, the ball carrier. That's Christopher Weaver, gain of maybe a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Speaking of Kentucky, tomorrow, 3:30, they play Ohio.
Ohio, yeah.
Ohio, a decent football program too. If you remember, a couple years ago, they gave Ohio State all they wanted in a game.
Well, yeah. Again, I must say, I don't follow college football as much as I do the pro football. or even high school for that matter. But what I saw last week at Kentucky was entertaining. They played hard. The kids on defense seemed like they swarmed to the football. And this is Weaver again. He's going to be hit and dropped. Good hit that time by number 81 of Corbin.
Ethan Sims.
Ethan Sims put the helmet on.
He sure did. I feel certain that Coach Haddix and his staff has got most everybody in the
Jordan
game
Collette,
now.
number 32, Jordan Collette, but I hadn't called his name yet. He's in there.
Timothy McCart just came into the game for Corbin. Number 70 also getting in the game now. Number 70 is Petrie.
83 in the football game, and Nick Rogers playing the right corner there. 50 seconds to go, maybe the last play of the game. Going to leave it off of Weaver again. Off right tackle, breaks a couple of tackles, and he's hit and wrestles to the ground after a short gain. On top of that play was Nick Rogers, number 83, and also on the bottom of that play, Brody, was number 53, maybe?
I think so, McCart.
McCart, yeah.
Number 73, Adam Storms in the game.
Tucker Barton, number 51, was the kid on the bottom of that play.
Yeah, some of these young kids in the game. Only a few seconds to go, and I think that'll do it. I don't even think Corbin will try to run a play.
And that will bring to a close this football game. Corbin wins at 49. I almost said 42. 49-0. Has improved their record to 2-1 on the year. 0-2 now for Trimble County. Coach, I think you worded it very well earlier. You don't really know how much you've improved in a game like this. However, it would be easy to see if you hadn't improved in a game like this.
It would.